Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel for Warship Dits. This will be the first video of the series, and it's going to be on the USS Hornet, the Yorktown class aircraft carrier. So, the USS Hornet was an aircraft carrier service to the United States Navy and achieved a lot of significant feats in her very short service history. So, when she was laid down in 1939, she was the first of two of Yorktown classes, with the third being a smaller, more compatible, more on the lines of what the Washington Naval Treaty said, called the Wasp. So that's a better way, that's a good way to put it. Hornet and Yorktown were not really what we would call abiding by the Washington Naval Treaty, but the third sister Wasp was, so most people looked the other way. So on the 30th of September 1941, the USS Hornet got its name changed to what we now know as the USS Hornet. Originally it was named the USS Kearsarge. However, I'm unsure why the name change happened, but definitely more of a fearsome name than Hornet, especially with how much of an impact she had in the Pacific theater. Early war service, Hornet played a vital role in the early stages of war, especially with the fact that it committed the Doolittle raid on the 18th of April 1942, in which Lieutenant Colonel James H. Doolittle from the 70th United States Air Army Corps managed to launch 16 B-25s from the deck of the Hornet, which is, I don't even know how it was fucking possible, but they pulled it off anyways. He done the damn impossible. The launched B-25 Mitchell medium bombers from the deck of a carrier struck the Japanese mainland, which is one hell of a feat. It was the first time anyone's ever bombed Japanese mainland in the war. And it was a massive eye-opener for the Japanese, the fact that this can happen, especially when they thought the island was going to be the islands of Japan, their homeland, was going to be far too far away for aviation strikes. This was an eye-opener for them. So, crazy bastard, I'll be honest with you, crazy man. So, the significance of this here was the fact that Japan now had to seriously think about home defense and more model patrols around that aspect, the fact that it could be hit, which took key assets and aviation assets away from other parts of the theater, the fact that they had to defend the home islands as well. Now, later in her service life, at the Battle of Midway, which took place from the 4th of June to June 7th, 1942, she managed to sink several Japanese warships, including the heavy cruiser Mikuma, and badly damaging Mogami, as well as damaging other ships such as destroyers and other lighter cruisers. Now, Hornet-style bombers followed an incorrect heading as well, which pretty much forced the escorting fighters to ditch when they ran out of fuel. So there was some mess-ups in regards to what happened at the Battle of Midway, but the impact of her taking out and damaging so many ships, especially of cruisers and destroyers, essentially allowed the US to dominate in regards to the aviation aspect. Most Japanese cruisers such as Mogami, Mikoma were very focused on a very powerful anti-aircraft suite. While they did have heavy gun armaments, they were very potent for anti-aircraft cruisers. So she definitely managed to pull her weight at the Battle of Midway. Now, after Midway, this is where the story of Hornet ends, unfortunately. After the Battle of Midway, she then got involved in the Guadalcanal campaign. On October 26th, during the Battle of Santa Cruz Islands, Hornet suffered heavy damage from Japanese air attacks and was eventually scuttled by torpedoes from the destroyer Anderson. Now, the Battle of Santa Cruz was one of them battles where it was a key turning point it was meant to be a key turning point in the war for the Japanese. Even though it was a main setback for the Americans losing a fleet carrier, it still didn't affect the war the way the Japanese thought it would do, with the amount of resources they committed to it. Especially with the fact that Enterprise managed to heavily damage the Cell and severely damage Shokaku and the heavy cruiser Shikuma. It meant that for the price that they paid to sink the Hornet and to sink some of the US fleet at Santa Cruz, The Guadalcanal campaign in the end ended up in victory for the US. Now, battle honors, you managed to get 4 of them, which was American Campaign Medal, American Defense Service Medal with Fleet Clasp, the Static Pacific Campaign Medal with 4 stars, and the World War II Victory Medal. So she is quite a decorated carrier, carrying 4 battle awards, especially for such a short service history. And especially with the fact that she pulled off the Doolittle raid, which is honestly amazing. Now, the legacy of the Hornet did continue with the commissioning of the USS Hornet, CV-12, an Essex-class aircraft carrier in 1943, which also played multiple significant roles in World War II, earning 9 battle stars, which is outstanding. So while the original USS Hornet CV-8 had a relatively short but impactful service history contributing to key points in the Pacific theatre, especially in early World War II, its actions in the Doolittle raid and the Battle of Midway remain significant milestones and remain significant in modern naval aviation and how it was played out, especially with the tactics that they used and the way they focused on gaining air superiority. Anyways, with that, everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the wee Warship Dits. Hopefully it's going to be a series that comes on and does well, but fingers crossed. First of the video, so any mess ups I do apologise for, but hopefully I have done okay for it. Anyways, with everyone, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video.